Welcome to another exciting episode of Unraveling Intellectual Property with Michael Stein. Today, I am so pleased to have Axel Stellbrink of Stellbrink and Partner, a prominent European, German-based firm in Munich. But I know you guys handle all of Europe. I've known you for, I don't know, close to 20 years now. Axel, welcome.
Hi, Michael. It's a great honor to be invited to your channel and talking to you.
So why don't you tell us a little bit of your background and a little bit about the background of your firm, and we'll go from there.
Happy to do so. I was in a very big firm. I was even one of the managing partners in this very big firm, and I'm an entrepreneur from my nature. So even during those times, I had some ideas. I pushed them forward, forming the litigation department, developing the China business, etc. And then I had a further idea, and I had to start a startup myself. It was an econometric idea, which took off. It is a company that is working really well. And then I re-established this firm, and probably because we are so entrepreneurial, we have many startups as our clients. So we are not a very typical firm. We are atypical on very special in the manner that we first of all have over 90% direct clients. Most of them being startups. And then we have kind of three territories we are kind of capturing. Regarding the technical fields, we are capturing everything. This is something we have on top of our agenda to be able to handle all technologies. But we started with software, AI, robotics, etc. Now we have expanded also to life science. But then we are also geographically, we are pretty kind of concentrated, first of all, on the south of Germany, because this is the most entrepreneurial part of Germany, thanks to the Technical University here in Munich, or in Munich and in Germany, which has a unique position. And then in Estonia, okay, we are because I know the guys who have established Skype, and they have recommended us very thankfully. So we represent many patent applications from Estonia, and then there are some other spots in Europe like
Like,
Vienna.
pardon me for interrupting, but I mean, a lot of people in the United States maybe barely even heard of Estonia, but from what I know, they're pretty advanced in like software, robotics, or
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Michael, thank you for interrupting me to begin with. Estonia here in Europe has the reputation to be the most advanced country regarding digitization, for example. In Estonia, you don't have to ask for certain certifications or so. The government is checking this in an automated manner and, for example, then sending you the motherly support you need if your baby is being born. You don't have to ask to request this. Here in Germany, you have to fill out lots of pages of paper.
right.
All that is coordinated in Estonia. Has to do with the young history, and they have also two excellent universities there. That were far advanced in software coding. And this is the reason why so many well-known startups come from Estonia. Few of them you will know. Skype, of course, you have heard, but also Bolt is one. Then you have very modern solutions to company forming. Solo, for example, is very important.
Okay, let's not get too far in the weeds
Yeah,
with
cool.
Estonia,
Thank you.
but you also handle, I'm sure, clients in the U.S.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all
Yes,
right.
absolutely. We have a very big US company as our client, Thermo Fisher, and happy to give advice to also deep tech. So we are handling deep tech, I would say.
All right.
It's of course also common inventions, but we also know to handle deep tech.
All right, so let's get into the process a little bit without going into too much detail. Um, Americans, of course, are more familiar with the application process here. You could either file a provisional or you could file a utility. I guess you also have design. We don't have really the utility model option. And you pay your fee, and included in that is the application fee, the search fee, and the examination fee. From what I know, and I know you're the expert, how does the process, let's say an American company, primarily would probably file here first. What's the process? What are the options? Keeping it not too complicated.
Yeah, absolutely. To begin with, Michael, perhaps also from the European perspective, just to share this with you, from the startup point of view, US is tier one. Europe is tier two, even for European startups, I would say, just to begin with this
Okay.
statement, which may be a bit unexpected. Nevertheless, what we experience, what is distinguishing really between the US and Europe are two major things. One, you have this wonderful situation that you can file provisional applications. We do the same, but we do it in a manner that the first application is complete. So what does not work here in Europe is that you have a first idea, you put it together in like 5 pages or I don't know, 10 pages without claims or very few claims, and then you go to Europe with the hope to be able to claim priority. No, we need patent claims already being pre-formulated because anything you are changing to the wording is considered usually an inadmissible broadening. This is a big, big
Yeah.
topic here, and
Yeah.
this is something you should be aware of. I mean, you are aware, I know, but
Right.
sometimes we are receiving applications, and I've killed many US-based patent applications that had this as a deficiency. Even brilliant ideas because yeah, we are different in that respect. Otherwise, it's pretty similar to the US, I would say. You
Well,
can,
what's the benefit of filing provisional if you need the claims and everything?
yeah, I mean, the good thing is what I do like, absolutely, and we do the same here in Europe. We don't have this kind of official tool of a provisional application, but we do the same with just filing, don't not paying, and then we get the priority year, and then we have 1 year time to the benefit of our clients to refile this. Perhaps we add further ideas that will not get the priority right. But then we have an early filing date and we can just wait and see. I mean, to have
Okay.
this
All right.
time option is a wonderful thing. So I like the US system under that regime a lot. And then you go to Europe, and then in Europe you have this regional authority. You don't have a national authority. I mean, you also have national authorities, but the predominant and for me the most recommendable patent authority, particularly for deep tech, is the European Patent Office. Has to do with, I don't know, it's a very modern authority. They have high salaries, and they are able to handle biotech and software, AI. They have the staff for this. And for that reason, most of our clients, if they want to have a filing, they require a European patent application. And then later, and this is a bit strange to you probably, so we get this prosecution, and at the end, there is the grant. And then we can pick countries within either the European patent community countries or the EU countries. We have now two systems in parallel, running in parallel for a certain period of time. But here, my basic statement is you don't get the whole of Europe automatically. You have to do something, and then you better select a subgroup of European countries. This is a bit different to the US. What
With
is then also one more final comment, Michael, is of course it has to do then with the economic prominence of the European countries. So usually Germany is 98% being chosen among the European patent filings. Then is France and UK. UK difficult under the EU regime. We have to go the classic way to get the UK also on board. And then it falls off Italy, and then it falls off steeply usually.
That was, you read my mind. That was my question, or my next question is what countries are primarily, just on average, what have you finding, let's say your US clients, and how many countries are they
This
national?
is an excellent question, Michael. It's a bit difficult and it depends on the technology.
Of course.
If you have, for example, if you're active in automotive or suppliers, okay, it's probably Germany and France, and then you don't need to expand it further because if you have blocked these two countries, it's basically the whole of the EU because even if there is a supplier in Poland or Hungary, they are not entitled then to export it to Germany or
Right.
France, where there
Right.
are many manufacturers, and then they are being blocked. So it depends on the technology, but I would say principally also now having the enforcement in mind, Germany is number one in the numbers of enforcement in Europe, has to do with our beautiful, beautiful court system, which is really, really very professional, very inexpensive, smart. The judges are super smart, very well trained, and it is just also the least expensive one in Europe. And this is the reason why 60% of all European litigation goes to Germany. So Germany is usually being designated. Number two is probably UK, has to do with the Anglo-Saxon similarities, I would say. And number three is France, and then it's Italy. And as said, then there's a steep fall off, and it depends. Sometimes, there are certain countries having dominance in a certain industry, and then it may be worth, for example, casting iron or doing injection molding of plastics. Poland is an interesting country. So
All
there
right,
you
but
may.
I mean, as far as so let's focus on software maybe, and the deep tech.
Yeah, I've mentioned these countries. I mean,
Okay.
and then it depends if your biggest competitor resides in the
Okay.
Nordics, in the Baltics, or the Scandinavian countries. Sometimes you may also pick a Scandinavian country, but they are as expensive as the other countries. They are much smaller, so
Yeah.
it's always also kind of a number game here a bit, or a calculation, efficiency calculation.
All right. See, time goes so quickly. Let's wrap up the first part of a two-part series with Axel Stellbrink. What we're going to continue with is a little bit more on the process of filing. I know there's a difference between requesting examination and et cetera. We want to get into AI and how AI is handled in Europe. Maybe there's differences with the United States. So everyone, thank you for tuning into part one. Looking forward to having you back, Axel, for part two. And to all, till next time.
Bye.